Hello again. I just have to talk to you all a little bit about something that's very important for the healing process to really take hold. And that is what's happening to us at a psychological level. You know, this world has offered us a lot of trauma throughout the ages, actually. There's been trauma on all kinds of civilizations. And the trauma produces fear, and the trauma also produces anxiety and stress. And so when powers that be can keep people into this state of trauma, psychologically, people are all going to be unable to really think things through. And what happens then is they're very easily led from a subconscious level into hypnotic suggestions, which will lead them onto a path that's probably not as going to be as beneficial as what it may sound like. So to me, this is a really important part to understand because I've been talking to a lot of people lately, and there's such programming with all of this fear and all of this trauma that's been going on with this import from over in China that's being hyped up in some regard, and nobody really knows what's really going on with it, so there's a lot of fear. We're told to put masks on our faces, but yet the science isn't necessarily there that says that really does anything. And then people are getting into the point where they're frowning at people who don't want to wear the mask, who don't want to go along with it. And this is what happens when people are put into fear through a traumatization of a story that's being told and a fear that comes up and anxiety and stress set in. When that sort of thing happens, your physiological function of your body is not going to be functioning optimally because you're going to be into a state of fight or flight where the hormones are in a different position. They're doing different things than they should for a relaxed, functional, well-thinking body. Instead, what there is happening is they're on alert. They're looking for a snake in the grass that's going to bite them, so they have to run. They're in fight or flight mode, and it's a mode that stays there even though they don't think that they're really in that mode. It gets into the physical body. The physical body is always tight, it's stressed, it's not able to relax, and it does cost a toll, and it does come out in the way of being sick or unhealthy or just confused about things. So what I'm seeing happen is a lot of people are going down this road of believing something that isn't even factually able to be proven. But yet they're believing it because of the fear and the traumatization that they're put under. And so these hypnotic suggestions are easily implanted into the mind. They're repeated over and over and over with certain publications, with certain television shows that have the same agenda to pull people into this paradigm of falseness, and it's diminishing the beauty and the grace and the power of humanity. So there's two thoughts, and then there we have the people that are more free thinkers. And a free thinking person is somebody who is, it's more of a philosophical point of view of the world. They want to see facts, they want to see things that are actually verifiable, they want to read documents, they want to look at history, they want to tie things together, they want to connect dots, they want to see a picture, they have conversation with one another. There's not a I'm right, you're wrong. It's a whole different paradigm of understanding and of belief. And that is a situation where people are more open to the idea that your body can heal from anything. Your body can change. There's a lot of opportunity out there. There's a lot of things that are going on that one can't see when they're in the fear state from the trauma and the anxiety that they are just being led around and told what to think and what to believe, because it's almost impossible to freely think. So as I share with you all of these different concepts of how to work with the subtle anatomy and how to come into understanding the importance of the body being able to communicate with itself cellularly and with organs functioning and speaking to one another and letting them know what's going on. They're signaling one another. And the structure of the posture in the subtle anatomy to have that functioning well so the energetic body can work well. We have to come to that realization about looking at ourselves and really examining how much fear and trauma we're holding in our physical body. There's other things I want to show you about the connective tissue that I have some really good pictures to show you. That's just amazing how this is. And when you begin to understand the twisting and winding of this most delicate and amazing system of connective tissue, you're going to start to see things in an entirely different way. Right now, where we are in our development as a human race is there's really kind of a war going on. There is a war between the philosophical free thinkers and the war between keeping people in trauma and under a spell, more or less, of a belief system that isn't even real. The other thing I want to point out is when people get into this reality of trauma and hypnotic suggestions, is that they're unable to move forward in their thinking. They're unable to do that, and that's a very dangerous state to be in. So we have these two things going on, but it's up to you personally to decide where you want to be and to choose where you want to be. Because we're heading in a direction of amazing future. We have such potential as a human race. We have so much going for us. We're so powerful in so many ways. But if we're going to be caught in the net of fear and trauma and not ever deal with that and look at that objectively and move out of that cult of belief in something, belief in it so much that we begin to dislike and hate people and divide ourselves out from others because they're not believing as we believe, or whoever believes, in this structure of a hypnotic trance that they've been put in. That's a very cultish type of lifestyle and thought process to be in. So I just needed to bring this forward. It's been heavy on my heart for the last week. And I want you to begin, if you want to begin to examine, where are you really? What is it? Are you willing to look at every subject, no matter how bizarre it is, and just say, okay, I'm going to look at it. I'm not going to assign a belief to it or anything. It just is a thought form. It's something to look at. Let me get validation for it. Let me dig a little bit deeper. Let me talk to people who have researched this. Let me expand my thinking. Let me move forward. Or are you going to choose to be in this hypnotic trance where fear and doubt and actually hate and dislike for anybody outside of that cultish hypnotic state are we going to stay in that and stand in that so firmly that we begin to look like people that are not even human anymore, in the sense that they're not thinking like human beings should be thinking. They become more robotic. They become very parroted the way that they speak. They don't have their own clear thought of anything. It's only programmed repetitiveness, and they begin to speak just like they're told to speak. So this is something I'd like you to consider. I thank you for listening to this, for coming through this. And I hope that you look at this and maybe make the choice of moving into a free-thinking society where freedom is really found. Because when you're free-thinking, you're free. You're going to be in a free society. You're going to be in a place where you can create. You're going to be in a place where there's a lot more working together with people, because we're all on the journey to learn. There's not one thing. Science is not the religion. Science is only science to give us some suggestions, but it is not the religion to follow. And that is one thing that is being pushed, that we have to believe science, no matter who it's from, and we're never supposed to examine who these people are, what they're saying. We're just supposed to believe it. That's a dangerous way to be. So as we move forward in what I'm teaching you and what I'm showing you about the subtle anatomy and how we can work with that to come into our fullness and greatness, it's got to start with the psychology of where you're at. Where are you at? How much fear are you holding, and how willing are you to move out of that fear and examine it and look at it objectively and with reason? Because when people fall into a cult mindset, they are not going to be able to reason with anything. So you're cutting yourself off from opening yourself up to growth. And with that said, I want to say thank you so much for hearing this out. Please comment, give me some ideas of where you're at if you have questions, and I will do my best to get back with you. So thank you so much, and I will be putting more things up for you that are probably a little more fun to watch. Thanks again. We'll see you later. Have a great day. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for the thumbs up. And I think there's a little bell up there that you can hit that you'll get a notification every time we post. So if you want to, you can hit that too. But thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it.